Google Analytics is an amazing tool that you can use not only for tracking anything professionally, whether it's your own personal website or blog or even a mobile app you've created, but it has a lot of education implications. Um, for instance, if you had a class website or blog or even portfolio, you can use Google Analytics not only for yourself, but also enroll your students into it so they can have access to kind of analyze the data. It's very simple to do, and I recommend if you have a site, any more or less any websites that you have out there, you could use Google Analytics to analyze all the information and the traffic that it goes through with your website or even a blog. But if you're using Google Sites, you even have more of an opportunity to actually enter this in. So let me take you to Google Analytics. So I just searched Google Analytics. I accessed my analytics. I already filled out the information to get in. Doesn't require much of you just to be able to sign in with your Google account. And here are different sites on this one account that I own, but I have several, to be able to actually view some information. What's really nice about this is it shows you and shows the sites that you're analyzing. Now what's nice about also here is that you have sessions that will actually show you in the duration of people that's there and the bounce rate of how people go about on your website, which is kind of nice to know. Professionally, it's great because you can see exactly how effective your site is and where everybody's really going, but on top of it, it brings that real life experience to our students. But let's dive into here and look at some analysis and how our students could look at this to kind of think about projections and think about statistics of real life information. Now, this is a PBIS site that a colleague of mine wanted to create, and she wanted to be able to actually analyze what's happening there. So I threw it into Google Analytics. When it goes here, it actually tells you your live session, and this didn't exist back in April, but I put it in, and it actually does show you live results of exactly how many sessions, like people were actually active on the website, how many users, how many sessions, how many page views, a lot of really great information that helps her out, but also think about how you can use this for your classroom. If she brings this in, you could analyze, have your students analyze the data to determine what are everybody going to, why, and what should we do to make it better, to have a better web presence. Um, they have actually a lot of great stuff. You can actually go to real time and see who is actually viewing this now. This site obviously is not being used quite often because it's not showing something in real time. But we could also go into our audience and see the overview of what's happening. So you have overall, you can have active, you can actually dive into demographics. So like what's a typical age group that's actually reviewing this information. You could go into interests and you could look through here, geographical locations. So I can actually go to locations and see exactly what countries or even states are actually here. So 131 sessions in the US. And then I bet I could even drill down to actually see exactly what state and what city. And more or less, if I actually go into this, I'll probably see that it is in Illinois and probably Zion because that's where this is located. Another great information is you could, for you or your students, is kind of bringing real life situations here. What browsers are we using? You know, Chrome, Internet Explorer. But even more fun for your students is what kind of mobile devices, you know. And this actually helps determine what our students are using, what our other people are using, not only for you professionally, but also who's using it here. So let me actually give you a better example of that. So let me go to my district site that I have here that I use analytics, and I could actually go back to there and go to devices, and I could see actual real-time what real devices are being used for our websites. And right now we see iPhones, iPads, LG Optimus L9, some very interesting ones. So you could even use this information not only for your own site or a site that you a site you're on a blog or any information, but you could now actually take this realistic data and your students could analyze it. You could enter your own kids into here to be able to actually have part of viewing it as well. And it's really simple. By going to your admin section, you should be able to actually go to user management and add additional permissions for your other students. This is just my school district account, but I could probably add other people to read and analyze this. So it has a tremendous amount of opportunity in Google Analytics for your students to have a classroom site or blog, put your information into there, and you should be able to actually read the reviews and actually see all the statistics that are happening. And then you could actually have this mathematical component of, you know, what really is happening, who's actually viewing the pages on your site, and actually get that reporting. And you could even have students determine projections of what's happening, what devices are really being used. A lot of really great information, and it's a lot. It's so analytics really can be used in education.